Hello, I'm back from holidays. I wrote this song in the car on the way back from mid-north coast, New South Wales, after a blissful camping holiday. The wheels on the highway murmur through time, a soundtrack to the memory of the holiday left behind. Pictures of summer float across my mind, highlights of adventure from this beautiful life of mine. Now it's back to work, time to shift gear, dive into the river of faith, let it run through the bedrock of the year. I'm thinking of the Back Creek Bridge and the line of girls and boys, the faces lit up with bravery and joy, cheers of encouragement called up from below, the heat of the thrill of the jump and the cool river below. Now it's back to work, time to shift gear, dive into the river of faith, may it run through the bedrock of the year. I'm thinking of the big waves that I dived through with my daughter, and the little peepee shell farm at the edge of the glimmering water, falling into pages of that book I'd been waiting for. The kooky crabs at sunset as they scurry across the shore. And now it's back to work, time to shift gear, dive into the river of faith, may it run through the bedrock of the year. Now I'm thinking of the cricket match played with the neighbouring campsite, and how our children played together into the night. Peace around the world has not yet been found, but we all got on famously at this coastal campground. And now we're back to work, time to shift gear, dive into the river of faith, may it run through the bedrock of the year. The Back Creek Bridge, there it is behind me. It's the Back Creek Bridge, a real place, a real bridge. There's me stepping off the bridge with courage. There's my daughter leaping off the bridge with joyful abandon. It's a bit of a rite of passage in Southwest Rocks, jumping off the Back Creek Bridge. And in this world of compliance and safety focus, it's strange and beautiful to not have massive signs saying, don't jump off the bridge. And so all day, every day, all summer, there's just queues of people, young, most of the kids, some adults. And yeah, you jump off. I used to jump off the Brighton Jetty as a kid. It was probably that high. I used to dive off it. No way in hell I was diving off that bridge, but I did jump. It was like reliving my childhood. It was so much fun. Really beautiful. Churning in my stomach up the top there. Ooh. Yeah, and jumping into the deep, deep river. Should you do any jumping into Australian rivers, do be absolutely certain that they are deep and with no obstructions. Anyway, so excuse me, blissful holiday with a few families that we knew, and then some that we met there. Kids playing into the night, cricket, jumping through the waves. It was a very beautiful thing to unplug from the world and to be free of responsibility. And to be honest, I'm having a bit of a struggle making the gear change back to work, and I'm wanting to name that, because that's what I do on this channel. I like to name things that are so. I think that paying attention to what is a transformative and healthy act. So whilst I'd love to say I'm excited about the year ahead, the truth in this moment in time is I feel a churning in my stomach, similar to when I was standing on top of the bridge waiting to jump. And I am intending on jumping. I have some goals this year. I know that I believe in them and I care about them. But yeah, right now I just want to be back at the Back Creek Bridge. I want to be back at the campsite where my responsibilities are all quite simple. It's rigging tents, it's cooking food on the stove. Yeah. But you know, that blissful holiday, that was only possible because of many other holidays that weren't blissful. Learning to camp, learning to be a camper. We've gone through torrential rain. We've gone through the wonderful, notable holiday, which I never lived down, where I bought a gas cylinder and forgot to fill it. Well, actually, it's even worse than that. I didn't even know you had to fill them. I thought it would just be full of gas, but no, you've got to go somewhere and fill them up. All those learnings, all those missteps and failures, in a way, they all led up to the competence that had this holiday be truly classic holiday. Unplugged from the world, lived in this beautiful bubble of summer, and with my family and friends. And now I'm back. And the bridge is a metaphor for me. The Back Creek Bridge, churning in the tummy, the thrill of the jump. There were a couple of kids there. One of them stood up on that platform for probably an hour. She was a little girl. Me and my daughter were talking with her. We were supporting her, but, you know, just respecting, because like any rite of passage, you've got to be ready for it. She was probably the smallest person on the bridge, and she was scared. Eventually, we actually didn't stay with her. I mean, there were plenty of other people around, and we did our jump, and we jumped a few times, and every time we passed her, she said, "How are you feeling? Are you going to do it?" She said, "I don't know, maybe. I want to." And we jumped, and then we went off snorkeling, and eventually we came back for one more jump, and we were up on the platform. We looked down into the water, and she was there, and she had jumped, and you know, she was lit up. Her face was radiant, and we jumped down, and we're floating in the water with her, and just letting the gentle current take us along, and gradually swimming toward the shore. Never swim against the current. Never fight the current. Just go with the current, gradually swim across. So we're all floating there, plenty of time, all good, with her having a chat. And she's all lit up, and she's so excited. And I looked her in the eye and said, "Well done." And she said, "Thank you." It was such a beautiful moment. And so that's my metaphor for the year ahead. Jump, you know, when you're ready, and maybe sometimes when you're not. Find pockets of peace where you can be genuinely relaxing. I'm going to have some little mini holidays like that, whether it be a walk on the beach or something. I'm going to really bring that, because I've really rediscovered the value of replenishment. And I mean replenishment, not watching Netflix into the early hours of the morning. I mean, you know, a place where your system can slow down. Anyway, and yeah, do some jumping. What are you leaping into, this year? Now it's back to work. time to shift gear. Dive into the river of faith. May it run through the bedrock of your year. Thanks for watching and listening. See you soon, I hope.